Let's draw a red Christmas balls, unusual and in the same time they are elegant, and also I like them when they are not full, so it's just small pieces. In a white background I'm using red gel polish and I'm starting to draw a big circle, and I fill up the circle with the color. So I all the time before goes in a lamp, make sure you have the right shape and also apply the color even. I mean that don't leave any white spots, so make an even coverage with gel polish. In the bottom part of nail plate I also draw half piece of Christmas ball. Definitely you can make them a full size if you choose. I adjust the shape and then I do a full cover. Now I use the same gel polish and I draw the ends of our balls and I send it in a lamp for 30 seconds. Now using white gel polish I start to draw the balls designs, can be any shapes. In our case I draw a semicircle, so starting from the middle I draw an up and down, some more abstracted design, make them thinner, like up and in the bottom side of your ball. This creates more three-dimensional effect because the ball is round, so you don't see the top and the bottom piece. So the wider part of our artwork is in the middle, and I'm starting with the middle part. As I mentioned, you can play with different artwork for your balls. I do for both of them. Now I cure in a lamp for 30 seconds. During a lamp of 30 seconds, I'm starting to add shadow for our balls using a burgundy, mix it with black gel polish. I draw just a thin line in the top and the bottom of our ball, and now using a bigger brush because it's giving me more efficiency, I'm starting to blend the color. It's important the way how we blend the color, so the brush should not be dry. So I dip it in a top coat and this moisturize it without any amount of top coat. We start to blend the color just from the edge of our burgundy and blend it until you have kind of ombre effect. To have a smooth transition from darker red to lighter red. Same we do for top and bottom of the petal. So I'm having tapping motion, light pressure, we spread the color, small amount. Same we add for both petals. So for your blending, it's important to have the moisturized brush with top coat, lighter pressure, clean the brush periodically if you find in your brush you have too much pigment. So we don't want to have full pigment of our white, we need to keep it. Now I'm adding some black gel paint in the burgundy. We'll have a darker burgundy color. And now all this mix, I'm starting to add more shadow for our balls. The same, I do a thin line on the top and the bottom of the ball and I'm starting to blend, same as our previous layer. With a brush, moisturize it in top coat. For adding shadow is important when you apply the line of a darker color and you start blending, just take from the edges. So keep the main color, the dark, and that spot. And clean your brush periodically. Do not blend all the dark on our designs. You can do multiple layers if on your second layer you didn't have the dark amount necessary and you want to add it more, then you can do multiple layers and cure in between. Satisfied with the results of darkness. I didn't cure it, I'm just starting to stretch from the darker amount of the product a fine lines around our artwork. So this gives more three-dimensional effect on contour for our artwork. Then I cure in a lamp for 30 seconds. It's really important now the contour to have fine lines. So I'm just stretching, I'm not adding any product. Now I'm using a black gel paint and I'm creating a contour to our balls. So you know already the secrets of making fine lines is a customized brush, a product without dispersion layer and gel paint, and to move the brush slower is another secret. So you can see the speed, the way how I move the brush at this moment. So I move the brush slowly. Also pay attention to my right hand, how I support my hand also with my pinky. For my fine lines, I also supporting my elbow on a table and the pinky with left hand. I sent our design in a lamp for 30 seconds and I'm starting to prepare the color for next step. It's a top coat plus gel paint, and I mix them and I make that darker gray color to add some shadow for our balls. I'm just applying that gray mix under the balls. This will create more three-dimensional effect. Use a small amount and now using a bigger brush, I'm starting to blend the colors. Then I cure on a lamp for another 30 seconds. I'm adding also a little bit of sparkle for our ends. Using a black gel paint, I'm starting to create the ribbon for the balls. I'm moving the brush slowly. The brush is almost dry. Light pressure on my brush. And same pressure to create the same thickness for fine line. Now I send the design in a lamp for another 30 seconds. Then I seal the design with top coat. My top coat doesn't have a dispersion layer and I'm applying a thicker layer, so do not have as a bumped nail. It's required to apply a little bit thicker and makes the even all the multiple layers what we created for our designs. After curing, now using white gel paint and my art brush, I'm starting to create outline. I'm starting to create a contour outlining for our artwork of on the balls. So when you do the artwork, we have a fine lines and we don't paint, for example, this artwork inside. We just want to create a border, a contour, and to have some dimension, more three-dimensional effect. So we paint inside the ball. We're adding this white line and this giving is popping up that black line. So we are outlining in the spots where we want to highlight. Then I cure for 30 seconds the end results of our design.